Hello, welcome to Oasis Scents. My name is Ali. I am the resident soap maker, designer, slash I do basically everything in this thing I do. And with my boyfriend Byron we make soap and candles and some other things, as you'll see in this video. This week I am showing you our April release. So all these products are going to be released at Wellington Armageddon, which is in 2 weeks. The dates escape my mind. I think it's the 13th, 14th and 15th, but I may be one date out on that. We will be selling there as a stall, and all these products I'm mentioning in that the products we'll be selling, plus a few others that I'm not mentioning, I think. I can't remember. I may have missed a few, but if I didn't, this is what I'm selling, and that is all I have to say. Oh, the other thing I have to say is all these products that I don't sell will be listed on our Etsy store for 1 week. Only 1 week after Armageddon, because I'm actually going away for 2 months overseas to Europe for the first time. So I won't be able to sell on my Etsy, and even though I do trust Byron, I don't want to put that thing on him where he has to go then ship soaps for me and candles for me during that period of time. So my store on Etsy will be on holiday for about 2 months, and then in July I will be picking it back up again, selling soaps and stuff, and I have 4 events planned late August, early September, so there will be like more stock coming out, but any stock left over, including all the things I'm not taking with me, will be up for sale from the end of Wellington Armageddon until like Easter weekend, the end of Easter weekend, and then that very last week for a few days I will be shipping things out. It is going to be hectic, but it will be worth it. So if you don't manage to get your hands on this, or you're not going to Wellington Armageddon and you're really interested in any of these things, keep a lookout on our Etsy store, because they might be there. I'm saying that they might because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to sell out of anything. I think my wax melts will probably sell out, and I think my candles will probably sell out, but my soap, I think there will be a few soaps left at the end of it. We'll just see. I should probably mention before I get on in with the video really quick, my Novella Soaps sell for $10, my Novella Soaps sell for $7, my Novella Candles sell for $10, my Novella Candles sell for $7, my wax melts sell for $8. I may be wrong. I'll put a little thing here if I am wrong. I haven't started selling them yet, so I can't remember off the top of my head. My Beeswax Wraps sell for $6 for the small and $10 for the medium, and I don't think I'm selling anything else, and if I am, I will put a list down below so then you know. Cool. Let's go. Arpa, which is scented in tropical coconut and is inspired by The Last Airbender. Our Novella version of Butterbeer, which is scented in French vanilla and butterscotch. The Fire and Blood Novella version, also scented in dragon's blood, and some have little dragon's eggs on top, like the one on the left, and some don't, like the one on the right. I may or may not have run out while making, but they're still basically the same. Our newly improved version of our Wonderland Novella Soap, scented in white tea, berries and roses. This one's inspired by Alice in Wonderland. We have our Ginga Novella Soap, which we only have a few bars of. This one's scented in French vanilla and is topped with a cute little Ginga. Space, which is a Star Trek inspired soap, scented in Himalayan bamboo, and I'm pretty sure also driftwood, but I can't remember. Fire and Blood, which is scented in dragon's blood, inspired by Game of Thrones, which is also too tall to show. It has like a little egg on top to represent Daenerys Dragon's eggs. Sherbet Lemon, inspired by the Sherbet Lemon Lolly from Harry Potter, which not only has 1 version, but 3 versions. This one has 3 different versions. We have 2 of the one in the middle, about 8 of the one on the right, and 8 of the one on the left. All of them have lemon essential oil and have some sort of lemon inspired things, such as the one on the left, which has dried lemon peel and lemon peel inside the soap, and the one on the right which has turmeric and lemon peel inside the soap. Our Novel Wonderland bar, which is scented in white tea, berries and roses. Fully Stacked, which is scented in poached quince and vanilla pod. Level Up, which is our gamer inspired soap, and it is scented in French vanilla, so it's a very basic soap, and it's got 2 retro hearts and a game controller inside. Zuko, which is inspired by Avatar The Last Airbender, scented in Wood, Smoke and Fire. This one actually has a video coming out soon, which will be linked down below once it's finally out. Rue, which is inspired by Rue from the Hunger Games, and is scented in Pink Musk and Gardenia, has organic rose petals, I say organic because they are from my garden, and also lavender and jasmine flowers on top. Butterbeer, which is scented in French vanilla and butterscotch, and is one of our most popular soaps. This is what it looks like, and we have lots of this one available. Other Mother, scented in blueberry cheesecake and rainwater, inspired by the movie Coraline. We have 2 options of this. One that has yellow and blue, and one that is blue and yellow. Milk and Honey, inspired by Rupi Kaur's poetry collection, which is one of my favourite things I've ever read. Got honey in it and goat's milk in it, and is technically unscented but has the goat's milk and honey scent sort of in it, topped with 2 little bits of honeycomb looking soap. The Sorting Hat, which comes in 4 different variations. We have this one here is Hufflepuff, where you can see the yellow is more at the top. This one is scented in Italian leather, wood, smoke and fire, oak moss and amber, and caramelized fig and brown sugar. TARDIS, which is inspired by Doctor Who and scented in rainwater and blue musk. We have a good variation or variety of sample packs available at Wellington Armageddon this year. All the soaps that we are selling at the event we will have in the sample pack, except for Fire and Blood is the only one which we won't, because we made that soap a bit later and ran out of other soaps to have in the sample pack. Also, we have some soaps that aren't going to be sold at Armageddon available, such as Zaya and Rakan, Jace, and a few other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're definitely in there. We have a variety of Beeswax Wraps which will be available at Wellington Armageddon, including Pokemon, which comes in both our small and medium size, Batman, which also comes in our small and medium size, Star Wars, which comes in our small and medium size, Peter Rabbit, which comes in our small and medium size, Disney or Mickey, which also comes in our small and medium size, a Dalek, which only comes in the medium size, Wonder Woman, which comes only in the medium size, Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey Doctor Who stuff, which comes in only the medium size. This one's hard to see, but is a Harry Potter house one, which comes in just the medium size, a Heisenberg Breaking Bad inspired one, which is just in the medium size. We have Jasmine, which only comes in the 200ml candle size, which is about 7 ounces or so. This one's scented in cinnamon, orange and vanilla and is inspired by Jasmine from Disney. We have Wonderland, which comes in both the 125ml and the 200ml, scented in white tea, berries and roses, which is Alice in Wonderland inspired. We have Yennefer, inspired by The Witcher, which is scented in lilac and gooseberries, and for the gooseberries we couldn't find a scent that we liked completely that was just gooseberries, so instead we used kiwi fruit and red currant, which people have said smells like gooseberries. We have 100 Acre Woods, which is inspired by Winnie the Pooh and is scented in Japanese honeysuckle. We have Valkyrie, which is a Overwatch inspired candle mainly by Mercy, and it is scented in grapefruit, lemongrass and ginger. We have Monokuma, which is scented in lemon and vanilla and is inspired by Danganronpa. This one changes from a white to a red to a black, which is kind of cool because it's a little bit different. We have Butterbeer, scented in butterscotch and French vanilla, inspired by Butterbeer from Harry Potter. This is Jace, scented in Italian leather, jasmine and rainwater, and is inspired by the Mortal Instruments. We have our Harry Potter wax melts. This one here is Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff is scented in poached quince and vanilla, as well as caramelized fig and brown sugar. Slytherin is scented in oak moss and amber. Gryffindor is scented in wood, smoke and fire, and Ravenclaw is scented in Italian leather. We have our other mother wax melt. This one is inspired by Coraline, the book and movie, and it is scented in blueberry cheesecake and rainwater. This is our Level Up inspired wax melt, scented in French vanilla. This is our Game of Thrones inspired wax melt, scented in dragon's blood and called Fire and Blood. This wax melt is called Valkyrie, inspired by Mercy from Overwatch, and is scented in lemongrass and ginger and grapefruit. This wax melt is scented in rainwater and blue musk and is inspired by Doctor Who. This one is called TARDIS, and it is the same as the soap, just a wax melt instead. This wax melt is Butterbeer, scented in French vanilla and butterscotch. It is the only one we actually have of this type, and it is inspired by Harry Potter. And our last wax melt is Ariel, inspired by The Little Mermaid from Disney. It is scented in driftwood and ocean.